Kaboot it.
Dude.
You're laughing at me.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a different panel than our other ones. First of all, we're the Beanie Boys with Carrie. This is how we're rolling today. And I don't know what Tato's doing right now. Yeah, I'm actually really afraid. Blink twice if you're not okay. My name's Henry Confidential. This is my top 128 favorite movies of all time, the final 32. So a little rundown of the bracket before this is we had 4 sub brackets of low stakes comedies, fun movies, Oscar bait dramatic movies, sci-fi / horror with a couple war movies, and then the more pop culture, the ones where it's like if you hadn't seen it, we'd be shocked, regardless of how they stand genre-wise and all that stuff. And now we took the top 8 of those sub brackets, and now we have 32. So we're gonna start with reoccurring panelists, starting with Tato. Tato, I don't think you've seen all 32 of these movies, but you are confident that you've seen a decent amount of them, so you actually have some stuff to say. Plus, a nice Ted Lasso mustache.
Yep, thanks for having 25 of these 32, I believe, is where my number stands. And as I mentioned, according to Meatloaf math, that ain't bad.
That ain't bad at all. Speaking of not bad, Miss Majesty, what is our fortune going to say is my favorite movie after today? JPO.
I predict
Pain.
Scream.
With this panel, yes, that's probably fair. Especially over Back to the Future. Sorry, man. JP, are you ready to have a little bit of fun with this?
No, but I'm ready to have lots of fun.
Ant-Man, I've never seen you with a beanie on before. You look cozy. How you feel, bud?
I'm doing this on a protest now that I found out that Back to the Future lost to Scream. So curious to see how this ends up. But yeah, glad to be part of this. So,
Man's like, I'm never going to Virginia again. When I go there, that shit happens. And then new on the channel, or at least, in terms of not the usual ugly faces that you see from the rest of us, but Chad and Carrie. Chad, don't adjust your screens. This is not Hunter's channel. You guys are actually meant to be here. How do you guys feel about this? And I don't know if you guys know my taste. You're gonna be a little shocked on what's gonna be on this, or is it like let's see what happens and let's talk movies.
Yeah, let's just see what happens. If we get up randomly, it's because we got to break up a cat fight or something like that.
Oh,
There's a lot of shit going on around here.
I'm excited to see what movies are on this list. It's always so interesting to see everyone's favorites.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, with that said, there you go. And with that said, we are going to jump right into it. A little. Since there's 6 of us, I'm gonna abstain unless I need to be a stand-in for someone who doesn't know or hasn't seen a movie. Like I know for sure there's a few movies Tato hasn't seen, and then maybe there's a chance that there's a movie that one of you guys haven't seen, and then I'll be a tiebreaker for that instead of just the boring. I'm only gonna pick the one I've seen. So if that happens, I'll stand in. So with that said, we are going to start with our very first matchup. Which all these are going to be doozies because I actually, all the other ones were random matchups. I handpicked these matchups for round 1 to kind of like make it even for round 1. So with that said, our first matchup, starting with Tato. Oh, wrong share screen. We're good. My dog's barking. It's the old one. Before we jumped on, we were doing a different thing for fun. But all right. So our first matchup is going to be Tato. The Empire Strikes Back versus Terminator 2.
Alrighty, some fantastic sequels here. Films I have seen both of as of recently. Terminator and Terminator 2 had escaped me up until a week ago, but I loved the shit out of Terminator 2. Really enjoyed it. It was fantastic, but it is not The Empire Strikes Back. I gotta go Empire here.
The Empire is always going to strike back for nerds. Ant-Man.
I have the poster of one of these films, and one of these films also holds the number 1 spot on my top 100 list. So, and I think you guys can guess it's Empire. So yeah, that's pretty much all I need to say.
That's true. JPO, talk some sense to these people.
Well, if that means voting for the other movie, then yeah, I'll try because I'm leaning a little bit towards T2. I posted the other day of my Arnold from T2 action figure that I used as myself in my fig fed. he went over there, and he's going to go over here for me. T2.
All right, now we're gonna
It's a
start
tough
with
match.
Chad between the webs.
Yeah, I actually we just ranked Star Wars over in my channel, Chadwick Webb, and I ranked Empire number 6, I believe. So because I do not like the ending of that film. However, T2 does not stop and will yield for no one. It's a banger of a movie, one of the greatest action films ever made. So T2.
We're already off to a great start because Empire doesn't need to be your number 1. That's fine, but 6, I'm gonna have to watch that. Carrie, you are the tiebreaker. It is 2-2. Which movie is going to be moving on?
So interesting. Well, that list, Empire was my number 2, just because of a very soft spot for Return of the Jedi. But it's gonna be Empire for me.
Oh, Empire Strikes Back.
He's the less crazy Webb.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I'm glad you admit you're crazy though.
Hey, it's step 1 is to admit
Just
you're
to make you happy, and that's why I said that.
All right, so Empire is going to move on. If I were to go based on my personal rankings, T2 is higher, so that would have been my vote. All right, as always, and it takes me a minute to figure out. There we go. All right, round or matchup number 2, starting with. I'm actually going to go in inverse order here. I'm going to start with Carrie. Ready for another? I'm gonna piss you guys off this entire round 1. Avengers Endgame versus Spider-Man No Way Home.
Me actually, I know in my MCU ranking overall, Spider-Man No Way Home is above Avengers Endgame.
So is that what you're gonna go with?
That's what I'm going with.
All right, we got one.
If you make me cry, it goes up.
As it should. Chad.
Both fantastic movies, actually both very cry-worthy movies. If you get to Iron Man at the very end of Endgame, oh my God. But yeah, I got to also go No Way Home because of the 3 Spider-Mans, the comedy, but the emotional depth that comes with it as well. And I love Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. So, when he came out, yeah.
Are you going into battle as a Bible salesman? Tato.
Fucking A. I love the shit out of both these movies, but my number 1 MCU movie is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Nice.
It is damn near perfect. Like you said, even though Toby is going to step out of that fucking portal, it still gets you.
Yeah.
So that, like, the fact that they can do that, even though you knew they were going to be in the movie, it still was magical when they got there.
In fact, I would not have known that if the internet wasn't such a dick. So No Way Home is going to be moving on, but Ant-Man, give us a little combo on your choice between the 2.
Well, I had to correct you because the line is, "Are you going to battle dressed as a youth pastor?" No, I couldn't.
Oh yeah, that's it. But yeah, honestly,
cool
both of these
youth
are
pastor.
freaking amazing. But if I had to judge both, just based on acting, then it's No Way Home, just because the acting alone is better than Endgame, in my opinion. So,
well, I'm fucking
Right, though.
That is definitely an interesting. Not saying it's like wrong or it's just I've never heard anyone like have that take. Yeah, it's just an interesting thing. Vatos Locos, JPO, between Endgame and No Way Home, what would you have picked?
Well, SA, I actually would have maybe leaned more towards Endgame. I think it's a little more unique and it's actually better shot. It's one of my small problems of No Way Home. I don't think it's the best directed movie. So I would have went with Endgame.
All right, JPO, not a fan of John Watts. All right,
Johnny.
Let's start with JPO this time. JPO. Old Boy versus Hustle and Flow. This is the one matchup in round 1 that is not even. It's just kind of how it turned out. There was no even matchups for either of these. So JPO, Old Boy versus Hustle and Flow.
Well, it's a bad round to start with me. I've seen neither of these.
All right, so we'll pass on you then. I will jump in. Chad.
Well, I actually haven't seen Hustle and Flow, but I have recently seen Old Boy, and it actually I stepped it up because of the debate match, your debate match that I watched, Henry. So I made sure to watch this actually not too long ago. It's very frustrating because I couldn't find it streaming.
Oh,
so I had to grab it like on like DVD at a library, and then that was broken. So then I had to find a stream somewhere. But I watched all of it, and I thought it was a pretty badass movie. So Old Boy.
All right, Carrie, have you seen either, both, neither?
I've seen Old Boy, and I haven't seen Hustle and Flow, but this is why I love doing this because it's so cool you have Old Boy on your list. So I'm going with Old Boy since that's the one I've
That is
seen.
fair.
But it's an amazing film.
Absolutely. Old Boy.
I've
yes,
seen the
that is-
Josh Brolin one.
that is my biggest gripe with Old Boy. Old Boy, Mulholland Drive, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail are 3 movies that I cannot get on my Vudu, and it pisses me off because I would watch all those all the time. I'm gonna jump in. Hustle and Flow is a childhood favorite of mine. This is a movie that just if you're a lover of the concept of, I don't even want to say entrepreneurial, but just like, no pun intended, but the hustle of someone like who has an ambition and some sort of career path.
But is there flow?
There is some flows. So it's one of those things where my favorite scene in the entire movie is Taraji P. Henson's character gets a chance to sing the hook. And it's one of those things where there's nothing about like anything in her life that like really has, any meaning technically. So when she actually hears like the actual edited version of her voice on the hook, she just starts crying and breaks down, and she is in
Spoiler.
And
People haven't seen it.
it's just one of those ones where sometimes you need spoilers to pitch the movie, but it's one of those ones where it's like, holy shit, like this is a game changer. This is like anything that you would expect going to this movie. This isn't just about slapping hoes. This is about also dropping some flows. So yeah, this is a great movie. So
But is there
Hustle
some slapping of the hose?
There is actually
Beat that bitch, stomp
there
that
is actually
hoe.
there's more than some. But anyway, so Hustle and Flow is going to get my vote. Tato.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have too many of these that are busted up like this, but I still haven't seen Old Boy yet.
Definitely
But
not a watch.
Hustle and Flow is fucking magical. That the scene you're talking about, her fucking face acting, Taraji P, like it's just some of the finest
This was
face
before
acting.
she was like known, so this was like great time. This is before they were famous type of role, and you're like, wow, she is fantastic.
Yeah, and Terrence Howard too. I think it in that same vein.
If he brought the energy he brought this movie, he would still be Rhodey.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, Ant-Man, you're the tiebreaker. Have you seen both of them? And what is your vote?
Taraji was my celebrity crush for a while, and it surprised me that I still haven't seen Hustle and Flow. And you know how much I love Old Boy.
I know.
I think I still would have probably given it to Old Boy if I had seen it. That's without saying it, but I got to give it to Old Boy.
That is fair. And ironic, ironically is not the right word, but it's definitely a surprise that Old Boy won the tournament of the one it was in. So that was just a
Right.
interesting one. So it's like, really? Like, I don't think you guys were trolling, but also it just felt random. All right, so let's start with JPO on this one since he didn't get to vote. JPO, 2 mental health movies. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest versus Good Will Hunting.
Another good round, but just go more towards the one that I've seen a lot more. I at one point memorized the Robin Williams monologue. I gotta go Good Will Hunting. I think it was favorite movie of that year, if not top 5 of that year. So yeah, Good Will Hunting.
All right, Ant-Man.
Damn, this is a tough one because I love both these movies. I need to see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest more often. But yeah, Good Will Hunting holds a special place in my heart just because I remember seeing it as a kid and having it hit me right in the feels. And just like JPO said, I love that monologue from Ron Williams. Yeah, I gotta give it to Good Will Hunting.
There you go. Tato, have you seen? I don't think you've seen Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, I've seen both.
Oh, then let's go.
Good Will Hunting though is just like they're both really fantastic mental health films as you mentioned, but Good Will Hunting just a slight edge for Matt and Robin both just fucking knock it out of the park. That fucking World Series story.
Oof.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. What do you mean you weren't there? I had to go see About a Girl. Carrie.
I'm going to. They're both so good. I think I'm going to go Good Will Hunting though, because I've seen it more, and I think it is just a little bit easier of a rewatch. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest gets pretty rough.
Nah, you ain't wrong. Chad.
Yeah, I adore both of these movies. I even over at Picture This, I ranked One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest over Jaws, which is
75 specifically, or
for the best pictures of that year. And because those are both fantastic, but these are both fantastic. And Good Will Hunting, though, that one is definitely in my top 100. And it's like, I don't know, just the writing of the dialogue, and it's fantastic. There's not much more I can say about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to shout out Chucky is in Good Will Hunting. I mean, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Brad Dourif. He's just fantastic in that as Billy Babbitt, and it's just like when you realize that, you're like, Jesus Christ, he's not just Chucky. That dude's an actor, and it's just that's cool. So
Yeah.
shout out that.
Brad Dourif also mentioned the last ASAT featuring Ant-Man in the finals of the 2022 tournament.
Right.
Link in the description below. So now we're gonna jump over. Let's start with Ant-Man on this one. We're just gonna keep going random.
Oh, God, what is it?
We're talking music.
Oh God.
A Star Is Born
Ooh.
versus Coco.
Oh, you bastard.
Versus Pootie Tang.
Is that on here?
Maybe.
You know
You'll
what?
see.
I had to give into my Hispanic heritage and go Coco. I love A Star Is Born, but it's not as rewatchable as one might think. But Coco, I just can never get tired of, man. And that's the one. It's also a film that I'm not ashamed to say will always make you cry. If you don't cry, you don't got a heart. Sorry. So.
I'm never ashamed. The whole point of my top 100 is a lot of these movies make me cry. I'm not ashamed. Let's go over to Tato. Are you gonna pick the whites or the browns?
I am also going to go with my Hispanic heritage on this one, which I don't have.
Let's check the fact on that one.
No.
It's not your fault. You're way up there in Minnesota. It's cold. No chance.
Man, not a lot of sun for old Tato here. A Star Is Born is good, but Coco is fucking magical. Coco.
Literally. Carrie.
Also gonna go Coco. That movie's amazing. Like A Star Is Born, I've seen once. Coco, I'll watch like anytime anyone wants to throw it on. I'll watch that movie.
Once, okay. I recommend give it a rewatch. Just because it's fire. But yes,
it's kind of devastating. Like Coco, you get this like nice cathartic cry, and A Star Is Born, devastating.
you're like, oh man, we went from pissing our pants. It just keeps getting worse. Chad.
Yeah, no, Tato said it for me. Is Coco's magical. That one made me cry. I think 3 times the first time I saw it, and I think I cry at the same parts every single time.
Yes.
A Star Is Born is fantastic though. I would not have been mad if that one would have won Best Picture, especially since I was fighting. I was like rooting hard against Bo Rap that year. But Coco is just one of the greatest animated films of all time, definitely.
So one would say it is the greatest animated film of all time. Me, because it's
I don't know
the
about
top
that.
100, and it's in
What
my
I would say, yeah.
it's in my top 10 of all
Never
time.
heard of Toy Story? What's wrong with you, man? What?
Yeah, but I've heard of
Definitely.
Coco as well. All right, so Coco is going to be, or JPO. You didn't get an actual vote, but what are your thoughts?
I would have went with my white heritage.
That's just
I
the
would've
one
said A Star Is
awkwardness of
Born.
going out of order.
I would have said A Star Is Born, actually. I love that movie to pieces. And I like Coco, but I like A Star Is Born a lot better.
Just love Dave Chappelle. That's what it is.
Traitor.
Dave Chappelle.
And-
is good in that
and-
movie.
It's my favorite
steal
movie
Toy
of that
Story
year.
from me?
Coco's in the top 10, 15 that year.
All right, you guys ready to get weird? For those who don't know me,
Sure.
Yeah.
we're starting with, I'm going to start with the webs on this one. We're going to start with Chad. I Love You, Man versus She's Out of My League.
Oh, actually, I have seen both of these, but I love you, man, so much. The chemistry between Jason and Paul,
First name basis, I like.
fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. And then all like the Rush love in that movie too. I love Rush. Yeah, I don't remember much about She's Out of My League. I think it was really funny. Jay Baruchel is really good as Hiccup. That's all I say.
All right, so that's one for I Love You, Man. Carrie.
I haven't seen She's Out of My League, and I really like I Love You, Man. Like basically for all the reasons Chad said, and it's also just a really funny movie.
Slap in the bass.
Bitch, man.
I had to get it in
Tato.
there.
Why is your base so high?
Why you sound Jamaican?
Everything I say is something
I
good
love you, bro Namath. I love you, Tico, bro. Hey, I love you,
Jobin.
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 Pistol
You
Pete.
gave me a cool nickname, Pistol Pete. And I gave you Jobin.
And I give you Jobin, though I do thoroughly enjoy She's Out of My League.
Yeah. Ant-Man.
Alice Eve is damn gorgeous, and I love the Hall Notes scene in the movie. But I Love You, Man, it's just awesome, just because of one word, Rush. That's what won it over for me. So yeah.
Rushified.
Yeah.
JPO.
Yeah, I actually thought She's Out of My League was underrated until I see it's on your top 128. Then I go, it's overrated. But yeah, I Love You Man is one of my higher comedies the last like 10, 20 years. So I Love You Man definitely gets my vote.
I will watch She's Out of My League 10 times before I even think of watching Billy Madison. How about those apples?
What?
Wow.
Well,
Interesting.
All right.
Shabba do to you.
Okay.
How about those apples?
You called
so-
this shit poop.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Billy Madison won a recent bracket, didn't
I
it?
know, and I wasn't
It
happy about
did.
it.
His shampoo is better.
Just a little backstory on She's Out of My League. It's one of those movies that, as an Uggo myself, it's like, there's hope. There's hope. Sometimes
What do
you just
what do you give
gotta
yourself?
find it
You're a
somewhere.
5 or 4?
I drive a nice car and have a decent job, so I'm at least a 6.5. You know, I get, them's the rules.
Right.
Tato, I don't know if you've seen both these. Blade Runner versus Interstellar.
These are both ones I have not seen, so I shall abstain.
I will jump in for Tato on this one. I will actually start. I gotta go Interstellar. It's more rewatchable and it makes me cry. It's one of those ones where Blade Runner set the tempo for Interstellar. Blade Runner walked so Interstellar could run, but Interstellar fucking ran. Like, this was just one of those movies that, it's mid on my Nolan list, but that's because the top half is all in my top 100. So it's like mid is not a bad thing by any stretch of imagination. Interstellar is fantastic. The scene when they watch the tapes and you get to, I'm to the day, where you were, I'm the age of when you left, and it's just like seeing Matthew McConaughey just break down. It's like, it's one of those Oscar bait moments that is like just so genuine and legit. Like, if you want to like meme it to death, you can, but if you actually, in the context of the film, it's fantastic. And then obviously all the comedy with like Tars and stuff it's just a lot of fun. There's just a lot of memorable moments. Blade Runner, you have to be in the right mood for it. And it's S tier if you're in that right mood, but if you're not, it's good, really good. Whereas Interstellar hits on all notes. So I'm going to go Interstellar. Ant-Man, I know where you're going to go, but let's hear your conversation on both of them.
It's just hard because one of these movies has my favorite actor of all time, and I love the movie, but I got to give it Interstellar. Interstellar is still like my favorite Nolan film. And yeah, man, it still makes me cry, and I just love the way it was shot. I understand. I hear from so many people like the science makes no sense, but in this case, I don't really care. Like, it's just more about just the way the film was made.
People say the science makes a lot of sense, so it's definitely an interesting one where it's like, it's literally called science fiction. So it's like the fact that there's a debate means it's good enough for me.
Yeah, and it could possibly happen to us right now, like in 10 years. Who knows? But either way, Interstellar is just amazing. McConaughey's freaking amazing. Hathaway, everyone. No one has a bad performance in this.
Wes
film.
Bentley, randomly, I don't really see him in much after American Beauty, and it's like, oh yeah, that guy.
I'm glad to kill them all.
Who's your favorite actor, man?
Harrison Ford.
Why?
How dare you? He's a president. Indiana Jones, Han Solo. I can go on.
So who's your favorite
Name
character?
something from the last 20 years.
Bastard.
Han Solo,
Indiana
Jones.
That's new and original.
You're not wrong.
Han Solo.
APO, what do you got here, bud?
Yeah, this is kind of tough. They're kind of on par, but I think by a little bit, I think it just holds my interest is that much more. Something I would go back to more is Blade Runner.
Ooh, interesting. The way you worded that, I wasn't expecting that. All right, so 2-1 going over to the webs. Let's start with Carrie.
Yeah, obviously both really great science fiction films. I think Interstellar for me, just because I found that on each rewatch of Interstellar, there's just like something new I understand or something new I get out of it. Blade Runner is kind of just, I watch it and it's really enjoyable. It's really good, but Interstellar, I feel like I get more out of it when I rewatch it.
Sometimes when you watch Blade Runner, it's long. Chad.
Yeah, Interstellar is very underrated. A lot of people get down on it because of they don't like emotion in their movies. I guess they're like, I just wanted science, but
Action.
I think Interstellar is fantastic. Blade Runner, the thing about it is it's very slow, and I wouldn't go as far as to say it's overrated, but 2049 came out, and then now I never feel the need to go back to Blade Runner unless I'm doing some sort of
Debate
movie
or
club or debate or trivia. I don't know, but I feel like it's been usurped a little bit by 2049, and I don't know. Yeah, it's very slow, And I feel like you're just watching it to get to that speech at the end. That's fantastic, but I don't know.
All right.
Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I don't know. I don't call it slow. I call it deliberate, but I get what you're going for. Yeah.
I feel like that speech is also slightly overrated as far as that.
Oh, I like it though. It's philosophical.
All right. Well, we're gonna start with Tato on this one. Oh, maybe not, 'cause I don't know if you've seen one of them. So we might not start with Tato on this one. The Thing versus Jurassic Park.
God. Sorry,
Tato,
one of these.
Have you seen The Thing?
No.
Okay, so we are starting with JPO.
Dang, I kind of want to hear other people first. I
That's why I
love
went to you, sucker.
both of these. I love both of these, but honestly, I think I'm leaning towards The Thing. I kind of just, yeah, I said it. I got to stick with it. I was just about to say maybe not. Maybe the Jurassic Park. No, it's The Thing. Let's go with The Thing.
That was
it.
the final four on your bracket, right? Or final two? It was high up there, right?
It made it pretty far. Yeah. I do love it. I love both of these, but I don't know. The Thing, I really respect and love it, and yeah.
All right. So, fun fact: JPO, big fan of the cold. Chad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why JPO was so hesitant. I know because it's Spielberg or whatever, but yeah, it's easily The Thing here for me. And that's no disrespect to Jurassic Park. It's one of the greatest movies ever. But so is The Thing, and it just hits on sci-fi, it hits on horror. And I don't know, it's just something about that movie, like really just gets you, like every little scare is just still each time you watch it. I don't know. I would just go with The Thing here.
Absolutely. Carrie.
Yeah, both movies with incredible special effects and just like top tier movies, both of them. I'm also gonna go The Thing though.
Knew it.
Jurassic Park, honestly can't remember if it's in my top 100, but The Thing definitely is, and it's pretty high up. So
let's go. We're gonna have to do one of these for Carrie next, so everyone can hurt her feelings.
Yeah, I know.
Ant-Man, show some love for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park was the first movie I ever saw in my life, and I actually have a old home video of me watching it during my birthday party while everybody was like there for me. So like, I love that movie so much.
Talk about the first reaction channel. Jesus, let's go.
That. OG
I was really like
Park
focused on
reactions.
Velociraptors. Yeah, that honestly.
You were ahead of the game, baby.
The fun thing is like my girl's a horror fan, but I try to pitch The Thing to her, and she didn't want to watch it. So that kind of makes it go down for me.
That's when you broke up with her, right?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, okay.
She just doesn't. She doesn't like the cold. She's like, I'm dealing with that all the time in New York. It's too cold, man. Let's. She
saw that clip what they used in the recent Halloween movie, and she's like, yeah, I don't want to watch it.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah, for me, I would have went Jurassic Park. It's one of those things where I hate when I say this, but like it's always a tiebreaker. Is I have if I have to be in a mood for the movie to be perfect, then that takes it down a notch if I need a tiebreaker. And that's the case. I have to be in the mood for The Thing to be perfect. And if I am in the mood, just like in Blade Runner, it is absolutely perfect. But if I'm not in the mood, then it's really, 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 really good. Whereas Jurassic Park, it puts me in the mood no matter what when I watch it. It's one of those ones where on paper it should be higher based on my love for it, but I don't want to feel like I'm like everyone else. So I kind of like want to put more Henry movies technically higher. So it's a weird dynamic I have with that. So yes, Jurassic Park is going to get my vote there. But The Thing is going to be moving on, and that is the left side of the bracket. So just to give a little recap as I'm setting these up, our matchups for round 2 are going to be Terminator 2. No, I said that all backwards. Bud Light Seltzer kicking in. The Empire Strikes Back, Spider-Man No Way Home, Old Boy, Good Will Hunting, Coco, I Love You Man, Interstellar, and The Thing. And now we are going to start with Tato on this one because I know for sure he's seen both of these, or at least I hope so, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. One of these, maybe not. But with that said, Tato, hopefully you've seen both of these. If not, watch along because one of these is a Tato movie.
Hell yeah.
American Psycho versus Pulp Fiction.
I have not seen Psycho.
God damn it. All right, so we're going to start with
American Psycho.
Yes.
He was lazy. He didn't feel like saying all the words. Carrie, we're gonna start with you, and I will step in it once again.
Pulp Fiction for sure. American Psycho is a good movie, but I don't really enjoy watching it that much. I don't know. It's like I'm watching I don't know.
You don't like Dexter? It's pretty much a Dexter prequel. Like that's all we're doing. With this.
I haven't seen Dexter. It's something about
I don't
like
think Dexter murdered people over business cards though, so I don't know if that's the same.
it's like you gotta watch those guys in that like
Allegedly.
late 90s, early 2000s business vibe, and like sometimes
It's all a dream. It's none of it's real.
I know, but
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction is so fun and just it's so awesome. I'm gonna go with Pulp Fiction.
I love how I'm trying to pitch like pick American Psycho, and Pulp Fiction's in my top 10 and American Psycho's not. Like, that's how much I love American Psycho though. I'm like, at least even if you're gonna vote for Pulp Fiction, don't shit on American Psycho. So I'm also
really good.
I'm also gonna vote for Pulp Fiction as well. Obviously, if anyone's ever heard me talk about movies, they know that Tarantino is my guy. Pulp Fiction probably is my number one, even though Kill Bill 1 and 2 could fight for it on any given Sunday. It's close. But American Psycho, I love this movie. It inspired
He didn't direct Any Given Sunday. That was someone else.
It inspired the opening to Dexter, which is the full fun about that. And Christian Bale, it's one of those ones where you don't see Christian Bale in this movie, you see Patrick Bateman, and that is important for a superstar like Christian Bale. Chad.
I think because American Psycho sometimes feels like a big macho movie, people would be surprised to learn that a woman directed it, but she did a great
Mary
job.
Herron. Shout out.
Despite the fact that even though she did a great job, I don't really like it that much.
Jeez.
The movie. I mean, I think Christian Bale's great. I mean, he's great in pretty much everything. The kills are kind of gnarly, but other than that, like I don't know. I don't really get it all that much. Why, someone would like it so much, but I respect the fact that you do. However, I mean, Pulp Fiction, yeah, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Changed the game, had a really unique style of storytelling. It's amazing.
There you go. I love it. American Psycho, though. Come on, guys. Ant-Man.
Despite the fact that this has an awesome soundtrack, which has Genesis, Whitney Houston, and Jimmy Lewis in the news, and also the fact that I think without this movie you wouldn't have Christian Bale as Batman. I gotta give it a Pulp Fiction. It's just no words, man. It's Tarantino's magnum opus. So yeah, Pulp Fiction all the way.
That is the one argument of all these so far that I will accept because you did give love to American Psycho. JPO.
No, I mean I like American Psycho. Bale, of course, is great, but yeah, Tarantino hasn't made a bad film yet, and this might be his number one for me here. So, Pulp Fiction.
One of these days, we're gonna do a Tarantino scenes, characters, bunch of different Tarantino drafts. So we talk about.
I'd be down for like performances.
Yeah, like you can't obviously just do movies because then you don't have enough to draft. But there's definitely sub things we could talk with Tarantino. With that said, time to get heavy, man. Let's start with can't start with Tato on this one for sure. So we're gonna start with me. The greatest movie of all time, objectively, or another one of really Spielberg's good movies. Both Spielberg, Schindler's List versus Saving Private Ryan.
I don't know if you got the right picture up in there.
I am going to go first. Schindler's List is the greatest movie of all time. I objectively have said this numerous times that if I was Jewish, this would be my favorite movie of all time because how it affects me. And ironically, it's watchable because people don't realize that. I mean, I don't. Out of context, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're gonna think it sounds, weird. But like this movie's funny. Like Oscar Schindler has a lot of charisma to it. Like it's one of those lines where he's like, someone says like, "Oh, what do you think of me?" He's like, "If it gave you any thought, maybe I would." And it kind of has a lot of feels of Casablanca with Rick Blaine. Like he kind of feels like he's that type of person, saying lines similar to that, in the movie. But yeah, it's a 3.5 hour epic that makes you feel like you're not a good enough person. How much better can I be? But also it's real and it goes there. And it's one of those things that it just is 3-dimensional. Saving Private Ryan's fantastic. I will always vouch for that the movie is more than just the first 30 minutes or so with the beaches in Normandy. I love the dynamic of the crew, that we have Tom Hanks, Adam Goldberg, Vin Diesel, Ribisi, and Tom Sizemore, and then the other guy that I never remember his name, but like all those guys, like they're all and obviously Matt Damon when he joins, but like all of them are fantastic.
Jeremy Davies.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam Goldberg.
I try to forget him probably because who's that guy? Who's that guy?
He's on the recent picks and lists. Oh, they're also on the Pure Scope channel. Jeremy Davies from this week.
He's Daniel Faraday from Lost.
Yeah.
No one knew
Drunk
who his
Dad.
name was, by the way.
No,
No
yeah,
one
no
told
got
Jeremy
that. I was
Davies.
watching that and I was getting pissed, like son of a bitch. But yeah, so Schindler's List for me, just because it checks all the boxes. Let's go over to Ant-Man.
Spielberg's one of my favorite directors. I've seen Schindler's List once, but it was fucking epic. But I gotta go Saving Private Ryan. I can never turn off that movie whenever it's on cable. A lot more broad array of performances to choose from, so therefore I like all of them. And also it's not a bad thing, it's just that Schindler always just depresses me. I'm never really in the mood. It's like the rewatchability is kind of like down, not because it's a bad movie, just because you're gonna be freaking depressed right afterwards. So I gotta get the Saving Private Ryan. It's a little bit more hopeful, still sad, but it's always just amazing to watch.
That's fair. 1-1 split. Going over to JPO.
I'm gonna vote for the movie I've seen, Saving Private Ryan.
Oh fuck me. We might have to just we might have to suck it up and just do a watch along of Schindler's List.
No, just stay on me. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna watch that together.
I'm down.
Chad, Carrie, have both of you seen Schindler's List? And,
Yeah.
We've seen
Oh, yeah.
both.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
seen both.
All right, let's get a vote.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, we can't lie to ourselves. Most of us would be Jeremy Davies in a Saving Private Ryan situation. I know I would be, just scared to death. Anyways, I actually have some issues with Saving Private Ryan. I think the ending is like way too cheesy for the rest of the movie. And every single time I go, oh my God, old man again. Here we go. Other than that, I do love the rest of the movie, or a lot of the movie. My favorite scenes are Giovanni Ribisi's. I just love that character so much. And his speech, like talking, about, not spending more time with his mom and stuff like that. There's a lot of like really
pretending to be
great.
asleep. Why did I do that? Yeah.
Exactly. There's like a lot of really great, like dramatic scenes that aren't the first 10 minutes or whatever of the movie. So I definitely agree with you there. However, I still think I'm going to go Schindler's List here because I just think it's such an important film for, shedding light on something that happened that we can't ever repeat. And, I feel like it's easier than you think to get to a place like that with such hatred out there. So yeah, Schindler's List.
All right. So no pressure, but is a 2-2 tie. Carrie, what are you voting for?
I'm going to give a shout out to my favorite World War II movie, which is Life is Beautiful. But these would definitely be number 2
The Thin Red
and
Line.
3. Oh, The Thin Red Line's really good. So somewhere, these are definitely in the top 4 World War II.
It's in my top 100
Jojo
World
Rabbit.
War II movies, I promise.
Yeah, I'm also.
The Pianist.
Sa-
Oh, sorry.
I didn't like that one. Saving Private Ryan is an amazing film, but Schindler's List, I think, is a little bit more perfect. And I don't know. I think it is actually a little hopeful, like at the end with because that's real footage, right? Of all the real people putting flowers.
The Schindler Jews, yeah.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I think that's incredible.
And that's it jumps over to color and it shows the scene on the beach.
So effective.
The rock, the pebble on it. It's like, oh God, dude. And it's I don't obviously I'm pretty sure it's in Hebrew, but they're singing the song and it's one of those things where it's like just like the scene in Shawshank. I don't know what those French ladies are saying, but it made every man in Shawshank feel like they were
love.
free.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how I feel in Schindler's List. I'm like, I don't know what they're saying, but I feel the love and I feel the hope, and it's so. Schindler's List is moving on.
I'm not mad about it.
For what it's worth, even though I haven't seen Schindler's List and I have seen Saving Private Ryan, I would have voted Schindler's List because I know.
Antonio, you're not wrong either. Like it's so heavy. That's why I don't watch that.
Plus, I didn't realize that Bryan Cranston was in it until a few years ago. I was like, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, that's the character I would be safe in an office.
Right.
With one arm. So I know.
I'll take it better than going to war.
I don't want to awkwardly just double down on a bunch of depressing films, but we're gonna do it again.
Working for a dream,
and we're gonna start with Tato.
Oh, Tato Senior.
Clerks versus Superbad.
Oh, you bastard!
You son of a bitch!
They're depressing at the end.
Got him.
Only the direction.
Yeah, no, that moment in Superbad is fucking like when they realize they have to go on without each other and shit. fucking magical, dude. Or like in a tragical magical. Fucking. But we all know who I am. We all know what I'm about to fucking say.
That's right.
Chad, you forgot for a second, didn't you? You forgot what was going down. It's Clerks. Come on. I love Clerks to death, man. Clerks.
All right. One vote for Clerks. Ant-Man.
I've seen all the View Askew Universe movies, and I've seen all the Clerks movies. I still rank Clerks as the third best Clerks movie, so I gotta get it super bad. I know it's insane, but
I'm pretty sure I'm not voting here, and Superbad is gonna win by a mile on this one.
Mhm.
But like, goddamn, that was weird. The blasphemy. It's
weirdly enough, I don't disagree with that, man. It's not my favorite Kevin Smith movie, but I'm still gonna put it over Superbad.
Now that is also what the English language is not working here. We hang out with Diaz for 1 minute, and all of a sudden, Carrie, 2-1 for Clerks. What are you voting for?
You get to vote. I haven't seen any of these either.
Ooh, you haven't seen either, or you just haven't seen Clerks?
I haven't seen either. Or Superbad, I've seen scenes from, but I definitely have not seen the majority of it.
Chad, you better
Chad, what's wrong with you?
Before you guys have your kid and you're not allowed to watch R-rated movies anymore, you need to watch these movies. Come on, guys. Chad, have you seen both of them?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
All right, you can vote, and I'll be the tiebreaker potentially.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm going Clerks here. Superbad, I think the better Superbad movie is called Booksmart. Yeah, no, I don't really care for that movie. I'm not huge on this type of comedy anyways, but I think Clerks is just like, I don't know. Kevin Smith's like kind of like dialogue, I think. It's mostly dialogue, and yet it's not boring. It just works, and I think that's one of his strengths, and that's why I think this is one of his better movies. So yeah, Clerks.
I didn't want to put this on the record. We have Clerks beating Superbad in a panel that doesn't include both Tato, and yes, that is a hot take.
Yeah,
and Jay's not here either.
Exactly. What are we doing? So I will say there was a small second where Clerks was jumped into my top 20 because I just rewatched Clerks 3, and I'm like, this movie made me cry, but I didn't laugh once. So that's probably closing.
So instead of it going to top 20, it's probably number 40.
It is 34, actually. So
I knew it.
No, you mean 37.
Yeah, just make up 37.
In a row.
At this point, I might as well. And see,
you really should.
I'm not even joking. I wasn't even trolling. I put Superbad ahead of Clerks. Like, I clicked Superbad to win because my mind was like, there's no way this didn't win. With that said, let's talk about race, guys. We're going to start with Tato. I know you've seen both of these. Tato, strong side, left side, or Django Unchained?
Oof,
is he sports?
No, he said race.
Oh,
yeah.
It was racing sports.
Killing wife. That's a sport.
Yeah, both these movies are about race in some small ways.
Here and
let's see. Here and there. Once or twice the whole film. Fucking A. I do love both of these movies. It's a tough pick, but I am going to give it by a nose to Django.
Interesting. All right. Django, 1 vote. Ant-Man.
I rewatched Remember the Titans, and I was like recently, and I was like, wow, this is really better than I remember. But Django's still number 1 as far as my Tarantino filmography. Yeah, he's like my favorite Tarantino movie. So yeah, Django by a mile.
Fucking by a mile, Jesus.
Yeah, fuck.
Can we vote on Scream versus Back to the Future again so we can piss Ant-Man off by a mile?
You got a hat.
2-0 for Django. JPO.
Yeah, make it 3-0. It's a tough one. I love Titans, but I'd probably go back to Django.
I'm a Tarantino stan, and you guys are pissing me off. Wow. All right. Maybe, Chad, any love?
Remember the Titans? You go to hell. You go to hell and you die. No, I'm just kidding. I actually really do love Remember the Titans quite a bit. I am still going Django because it's like a freaking like perfect movie. I mean, Leo just like slaps in that movie.
Yeah.
He just dominates. Remember the Titans is like a perfect like sports movie that you watch in like school. and you love and you just like, you respect, but I don't know. It's not
That's
Friday
the
Night
thing, though. That
Lights.
is
for me.
not. Whoa, I just rewatched Friday Night Lights, and no, it is
Friday
not.
Night the
Friday
show.
Night Lights is way better. A show versus the fucking movie. Come on, guys.
That's true.
Carrie, what about you? Any hope?
I'm really sorry. Remember,
Damn, dirty sweet.
Remember the Titans is a really sweet movie, but Django Unchained, that's
I
a
love
masterpiece.
the locker room singing. Ain't no mountain high. Can't sing it for too long.
I will get demands as for you for.
You had Gosling in there too when he was young too. So.
Yeah.
Gosling has a Gosling
And,
before it was a goose, man.
Liability at corner. All right, guys.
Facts.
So you know what happens when you're in high school? and
Ethan
when you have-
Suplee before he
when
left
you
for
have
that
some-
weight.
When you're in high school and you have some friends, you get together, and you can join a club, or you can get murdered. Breakfast Club versus Scream. Carrie.
It's definitely Scream. Breakfast Club is sweet, but Scream's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Why are we even doing this?
Yeah, I'm gonna be the only one that different.
No, I'm with you, Ant.
Oh, you are?
It's gonna be interesting. Chad.
And I know Carrie is also somewhat partial to the Breakfast Club, so that that's how much she loves Scream. And same, because the Breakfast Club is a fantastic movie. John Hughes, love it to death. But I mean, it's Scream got me into horror, so I owe it so much, and I love it to death.
All right, Tato.
I think your old man and my old man should go bowling. Underrated fucking quote from that movie, honestly.
Barry Manilow know you rate his wardrobe.
I do love Scream, even though I have professed to not being much of a horror cat in the past. But Scream is fucking fantastic. Breakfast Club is just special, though. Breakfast Club gets my vote here.
All right, 2-1. Ant-Man.
Scream was the franchise that me and my girl bonded over when we first started dating. Like, I actually binged the whole freaking franchise for her.
You're gonna get a Chris Diaz warning on this
But
me and my girl shit.
I
Real
still got
quick.
I still got to give it to Breakfast Club.
Oh, wow.
All right, JPO. Madam.
Revenge.
Whatever. Zeros.
Madam Zeroni.
Madam Zeroni.
I like Breakfast Club, but I love Scream. That's more of my generation. That's something, again, kind of like Chad said, that's kind of like my first major horror film. I'm gonna go Scream.
Change the
You
game.
know what's bumming me out about this? I have Scream as my current number 9 and Breakfast Club as my 12, and you guys voting against Breakfast Club is pissing me off. How hard this show is.
Switch it, motherfucker.
I might have to because god damn it, that hurt. I don't think it's the fact that you voted against Breakfast Club. It's just how easy you voted against it. I think that's what it was. You guys were like,
I said I love Breakfast Club, but
there's been other matchups where it's like, oh, this is a bar.
it's like if Tato voted against Clerks, or you know what I mean? Like, we're the Scream people. We love Scream.
Trust me.
What we do.
It's literally, you see
put
where
most
it is.
of these up against Scream, and we're probably gonna go Scream.
Ironically, of the two, I only have Scream, poster. So it's like, yeah.
And the fun, I love Scream 2 more than Scream 1 also.
All right. See now.
I adore Scream 2.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
All right. Let's start with JPO on this one. The Nice Guys versus 21 Jump Street.
Oh, okay. Well, here now. Do you want me to struggle? Because I will. I'll struggle on this one for you, Henry.
There you go.
This sucks because 20 Jump Street is just more directly a comedy. I guess they're both kind of action comedies. Ooh. I'll just go by what I laugh more, what I'd go back to more. 21 Jump Street, but I love both of these.
All right. Let's go upwards. Ant-Man.
Yeah, this is kind of hard for me too. I'm actually like one of the few people that wishes Nice Guys will get a sequel, but
Dude, everyone
Well,
wishes that.
A lot of
Yeah.
people wish.
What do you
yeah.
mean?
I don't know. The conversation died down, so I thought
It's just
maybe-
like saying the guy, like, oh man, I'm the one guy who likes Scream. No, come on.
No, it's that
like
it didn't make enough money, so there wasn't enough actual studio talk. But if you see
20
the movie, you want a sequel.
Yeah. That whole scene just where they start like fucking hallucinating after taking the fucking
Put your tongue in your mouth.
drugs.
Put your tongue back.
Right, which is that's enough right there. 21 Jump Street, Brie Larson
It's
is
not a
low-key
baton
walking.
penis.
Yeah. Dave Franco, everybody, us, just too much. So yeah, 21 Jump Street.
All right. Two for the cops, 2 for the narcs. Tato.
I thoroughly enjoyed our watch along in The Nice Guys, but I am gonna go 21 Jump Street here too. Yeah, we'll go with those guys, the Tate Yum.
Clearly, I wasn't talking to you, big titties.
All right. So the Webs, what are you guys voting for?
I'll go. Even though I think The Nice Guys is maybe like objectively the better movie, 21 Jump Street makes me laugh a ton, and I just enjoy watching it more.
That's fair. And Chad, are we gonna have to beat you up in the alley, or are you gonna join us?
You're probably gonna have to beat me up. I'd go Nice Guys here. I do think both of these are fantastic. The reason I would probably gravitate more towards The Nice Guys is because I would have never thought that those two actors would have gotten together and been so great together.
I agree on that.
I mean, Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum too, but like, not, I feel like they
At
go
the time,
together.
yes. Now,
That's
in
facts.
retrospect, you're like, oh, it makes sense. But even now that years have gone by, it's still weird that Gosling and Crowe worked.
But I feel like they also just like, have more natural, like, comedy chops than Ryan Gosling, except for that one SNL like Christmas sketch he did, or all of his SNL stuff actually. But this movie showed me that Ryan Gosling could actually be really funny and do a lot of really great physical humor. And I don't know, that movie just gets me. I love it so much.
Brian Michaels, shout out to Brian Michaels, because he's really salty. He can't be on this episode right now because he was an hour late. But shout out to Brian Michaels. His favorite comedy scene is when Ryan Gosling is in the stall and he's got the gun, and then Russell Crowe is like, "I got a permit, motherfucker." And he's like, turn around. I can still see the mirror. Close your eyes. It's just
and his
like,
daughter's
yes.
great in that movie too. Like,
yeah,
what?
They're doing anal and stuff. No, don't say and stuff. Just say they're doing anal.
And that
It's
movie
great.
made me want to stop saying and stuff all the time. That's a good point.
Shout out. It's a life lesson.
Yeah.
All right. We are down to the final 2 matchups in round 1. A couple of barn burners. Well, the next one, I feel like I know where it's going to go, but it's still a great matchup. But this might be one of the better matchups of round 1. We're going to start with Chad. 7 versus The Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. Easily The Silence of the Lambs. 7 is a really good movie, but it feels like a Criminal Minds episode. And a lot of people say, like, oh, well, it inspired those things. But I'm like, yeah, it just feels like an episode of a TV show in a longer movie. I do think the performances in that are great. The mystery's really good. The reveal, the box, all that stuff is great. But Silence of the Lambs, it's a Best Picture winning horror film. You don't really see that too often, where they get nominated and then win, but not only win, but win big time, like most of the awards. The acting's
One of the
phenomenal,
3 big
the writing's
fives.
great. It's just, I don't know, man. The Silence of the Lambs is just one of the greatest films ever made. And I'm not saying the 7 isn't, but I have to go Silence here.
All right. That hurt my feelings, but okay. Carrie.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm also gonna go Silence of the Lambs. I gotta be honest, a 7. I don't know if maybe just because I've only seen it, I think for the first time in the past like 5 years or so, I just have never really enjoyed it that much. The Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think just not even just like all the Hannibal Lecter, like Anthony Hopkins and the mystery of Buffalo Bill and what he's doing, but just like everything with Jodie Foster and her being like a young woman in this male-dominated area is like it's amazing.
And come on, Henry, it's got Leland Stottlemyre in it. You have to love it.
You ain't wrong. I literally was watching Monk before the ASAT that I was on right before this with JPO, because I was like, I need to kill 40 minutes. Let's watch Monk. Monk Goes to the Circus. What I'm giving you a shout out of, Carrie, what you said about the female and the male led scene, the one where Scott Glenn was like, that really chipped your buns or whatever he says, when I said don't talk in front of the men, and she was like, yeah, because it's like, and it's one of those things where it's like he genuinely didn't mean any disrespect, like he wasn't trying to talk down to his woman, but just the male, the natural like that's just how it is, especially in the workforce. And he was just like, wow, that really bummed you out, because he took a second to really think about it. And she was like, yeah, dude, like what are you talking about?
Super feminist movie. It's great.
Yeah. And it does a great job. Jonathan Demme, shout out to him. Taters, 2-0 for Silence of the Lambs. What are your thoughts on these two?
And fuck that feminist bullshit. 7.
All right, Taylor.
And we're gonna get canceled. All right.
Since we all know that was a joke, that was really fun.
Tato's toxic now. Okay.
Right.
Let's go.
Tato's like, I'm clearly picking the Kevin Spacey movie, guys. What are you talking about?
That guy's awesome. What a hero. Jesus Christ. Even I didn't like that one. God.
Well, welcome to Henry Confidential Talks Movies After Dark. Jesus. What Tato? Now, seriously, what are you going?
I am going to vote for 7. They are both fantastic films with and the acting is just top notch in both. But 7 just gets me a little more. So 7.
There you go. Ant-Man.
I preferred Hannibal over Silence of the Lambs.
Whoa.
No, I'm joking. I just wanted to say but
your life, Bing Bong.
But this is one of those moments where like I had to recognize that while one of the movies is objectively better. I mean, obviously, I think it did like the whole swept all like the major categories in the Oscars. I got to go 7. I just never get tired of 7, except for the fact I can ignore the fact that Brad Pitt still doesn't know how to cry. But the movie still, but 7 is still an amazing movie. So
when you're that sexy, you don't need to cry, motherfucker. JPO, tie goes to the runner.
All right. I just ordered a new T-shirt for the holiday season. It's a Christmas present, and it says, "What's in the box?" I'm going for 7. I think it zips a little bit longer for me here, and it's something I would go back to more. 7.
There you go. Fun fact, since I don't get to talk, only do little anecdotes about ones. 7 is the first movie that showed me that film is film. I watched this back in 2014, 2013. I was hanging out with a girl randomly. We're like, let's watch a movie. Weird movie to just watch with a girl when you're at her house. In hindsight, it made no sense why we picked this, but I was like, I don't even know why you're here anymore, and this is your apartment. I'm watching this movie. Like, what are we talking about? Like, this movie was the number. This, like, growing up, I always liked film, but like, it's one of those things where like I didn't know I liked film until I got older. I'm like, oh, I liked film, but this is the movie. I'm like, no, I like film. But yeah, Silence Slam's a banger. Top, big 5 winners. 1 of 3, and it's great. But 7 is always gonna have a special place in my heart. Not even nostalgic reasons, but that just plays a part in it. So I'm happy that 7 is moving on. And now we're going to the final matchup, which is a bummer that this is the matchup because I know where this is gonna go. I even know where it's gonna go for me. If I have to vote. But our final matchup in round 1 is going to be 2. It's kind of ironic, murder mystery. I don't know. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri versus A Few Good Men. I know.
All right.
It's a bummer where it's like I know where this is gonna go, but I want one of these movies to get a lot of love. Let's start with JPO.
Well, Henry, you want the truth? I don't think you can handle the truth. Then I'm going to vote for 3 Billboards.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Okay. All right, 3 Billboards getting a vote. Let's go to Carrie.
3 Billboards is an excellent movie, but A Few Good Men is like, I freaking love that.
You're a
movie.
lawyer, so
yeah,
there you
I'm
go.
A lawyer, and sometimes I'm basic, and A Few Good Men, it's just so iconic. I love that movie.
Fucking facts. Like it's in my top 20 now. It's a high riser. Chad.
Yeah. Basically the same. I'm going A Few Good Men as well. I love Martin McDonagh so much, and I'm mad that I haven't seen Banshees yet. But I love every movie he's done. But yeah, A Few Good Men. I don't know, just like Tom Cruise, just like all those courtroom scenes. It's just electric. I don't know. It's just the best, and I adore watching it. And 3 Billboards. I think Sam Rockwell is fantastic in that, but and Frances McDormand too. But
I lost my badge probably from doing that window guy.
might be more of like my middle McDonough maybe. I don't know. I actually have to do a ranking soon, but A Few Good Men.
All right. 2-1. Tatoes. Have you seen both of them?
I have not seen Three Billboards.
All right. Let's go to Ant-Man and we'll see. Ant-Man.
Well, I'm glad that Sam Rockwell finally got his Oscar. Anything with TC Legend is amazing to me, and this is coming from a guy that loves Cocktail, even though I know that movie's not universally loved. So A Few Good Men, just amazing. So yeah, definitely go A Few Good Men.
Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to Three Billboards Outside Big Missouri. It's one of those ones where I do this every once in a while when I love movies that I feel like get a lot of average reviews or like 4 stars on Letterboxd, and I go and look and I'm like, either one of two things. Either one, no one wrote actual reviews, so they just starred it, which is always weird to me. And two, had only seen it their one time. Like they haven't reviewed it multiple times. Like they haven't rewatched it. So it's like, this is the type of movie where it's like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, this is a good Oscar movie, but like they haven't gone back and watched it. And they're like, this movie holds up. Like a lot of people forget about this movie. It's mad underrated. Frances McDormand is a powerhouse. Like Fargo is one of my favorite movies of all time. And this performance in this movie is like up there. Like it is so close. Like this is fantastic. Sam Rockwell, Woody Harrelson is fantastic. You know, he does everything he needs to do. A lot of people forget Caleb Andrew Jones in this movie.
Oh yeah.
The one actor in this movie who puts up the billboards when he puts up that, you know, is like a discount, Lakeith Stanfield. He's really good in his couple scenes. Like it's one of those things where this movie is a banger. But A Few Good Men.
Dinklage in that movie.
Peter Dinklage. He has a little role in this movie, no pun intended.
Oh
you know,
my
it's one of, this movie is fantastic, and I know it's gonna sound goofy, but I love that this movie has dialogue and things, especially in 2017, that like probably should not be said, but like it's just natural dialogue for like this era and this area. But A Few Good Men, it's skyrocketed in my top 20. This is one of my favorite movies of all time now at this point, where it's like similar to Schindler's List. It makes you want to be a better person because it's not about right or wrong. It's not about what's in the book. It's not about what the rules are. It's about just being a good person, and it just reminds you of that, and it goes to fight for that. And holy shit, this movie is a banger. And TC Legend, as Ant-Man just said, has skyrocketed up to my third favorite actor behind Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
And there's been more than one time where I've went up to Carrie in the supermarket with the Mountain Dew Code Red and said, "Did you order the Code Red?" So, it happened.
And she's still with you, so that you are a lucky man. The fact that she put up with that more than once, and is potentially going to put up with that.
Not the weirdest I've been either.
All right, speaking of weird, we are going to start with Ant-Man. Now we've all talked about the movie, so we're going to pretty much just run through it. If you have anything to say, you can, but for the most part, Empire versus No Way Home.
As I said before, Empire is my number one favorite movie of all time. So yeah, I love Spidey, but Empire.
All right, JPO.
Empire.
All right, 2-0 Empire. Chad.
I thought he just woke up there.
Oh, he did.
Maybe.
Okay.
You get used to it.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Empire is great. It's just not one of my favorite Star Wars. Spider-Man just hits me on every level emotionally, so Spider-Man.
Carrie.
Empire.
Oh, Empire's going to take it. Tato, what will you've got?
Man, I had this whole clever thing. I was going to say Spider-Man isn't Empire Strikes Back because it's better, but now But yeah, No Way Home.
All right, Empire's going to be moving on. Old Boy versus Good Will Hunting. Tato.
Oh, man.
Have not seen Old Boy.
Oh yeah, so you don't get to go. Ant-Man.
Both these films. You know what? I might. As for what made a lasting impression on me the first time I watched it, I got to give it to Old Boy. Just from that twist alone, man. Old Boy really wins it for me.
All right, Old Boy. JPO.
Still haven't seen Old Boy. Good Will Hunting.
All right. And Tato would have said the same thing, so it cancels out. Chad and Carrie.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting's in my top 100. Old Boys isn't, but I really can't wait to rewatch it because it's great. But yeah, Good Will Hunting's an all-timer for me.
Carrie?
Agreed. Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting's going to get it. Whoops.
Not mad about it.
All right, Coco versus I Love You, Man. Carrie.
Coco.
Chad.
Love that movie.
Coco! No, yeah, Coco. I love you, man, but Coco is it hits you way harder.
Taters.
I'm in love with the Coco.
All right, Ant-Man.
Remember me, Coco.
There you go. And JPO for fun.
Okay.
Remember me.
As I'm always asleep during show, JPO. All right,
That's more than a
JPO.
lullaby. He woke up during the lullaby.
JPO. Interstellar versus The Thing.
The Thing.
Chad.
Yeah, the thing.
Gary.
The Thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
Tato.
I haven't seen either.
Yeah. And Ant-Man.
You know, Interstellar.
Yeah. All right, that was the end of that one. See, we're moving quick. We're doing good now. 7 versus A Few Good Men. Tato.
A Few Good Men.
Ant-Man.
7.
JPO.
You're a lousy fucking softball player, Jack.
Yes.
JPO.
Great point.
7.
Ooh, Chad.
A Few Good Men.
And Carrie.
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men takes it at the end.
All right.
Which is ironic because 7 has dropped below A Few Good Men in my personal ranking. Scream versus 21 Jump Street. I do not know where this is going to go. We're going to start with the two
I know
Scream
what-
fans. Let's get it out of the way first. Scream. Carrie.
Scream.
Chad.
Scream.
JPO.
Scream.
And Ant-Man.
I don't know why you didn't just skip everyone because you know where they're going. 21 Jump Street. I mean, wait,
And
yeah.
Tato.
21
I'm a comedy guy, not a horror guy. My vote is Scream.
Nice.
And Scream is going to win. Oh, wait, what? Django
Scream's
versus
funny.
Clerks. A bunch of white guys versus slavery. Tato.
White people, please. I'm gonna go ahead and take Clerks.
All right.
Ant-Man.
Django.
JPO. JPO.
JPO, so
Jordan,
Django.
I need you on this one.
Oh man, I was so ready for this one too. I'm not ready though now.
He was dreaming about Django.
Django Unchained.
Go back to sleep. No, it's
Chad.
good for you.
Django.
Carrie.
You can skip me 'cause I haven't seen Clerks, but it's
True. I've seen them both.
Have you?
Django. Schindler's List versus Pulp Fiction.
Oh, that's
Murderers
unfair.
versus murderers. Carrie.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, this is
Talk
no
about
fuck,
different.
That's for sure. I'm really curious to see
Like,
how I'll feel
one
once it
I
comes up.
enjoy watching a lot more, but it's because it's not as like just fucking horrible, and one is a very important movie. I don't know which way to go on this. I'm gonna go Schindler's List.
Oh, she went with her heart, not her gut, or her gut, not her heart. I don't know which one. Her brain. I don't know. She went with one of them. Chad.
they call it a Royale with cheese because of the metric system. Pulp Fiction.
All right, 1-1. JPO. Oh, you
I'm
haven't
gonna
seen it.
go. Yeah, so Pulp Fiction.
Ant-Man.
Pulp Fiction.
All right, because Pulp Fiction is already up 2-1, we'll let it go. And also, I would have gone Pulp Fiction anyway, even though Schindler's List is the greatest movie of all time. All right, that is the end of that round. So now we are looking at our 2, 4, 6, 8. Our final 8. We have The Empire Strikes Back versus Good Will Hunting, Coco versus The Thing, Scream versus A Few Good Men, and Django Unchained versus Pulp Fiction.
Two horror
Ironically,
movies are in the final 8. Interesting. Okay.
And two.
I wonder how that happened.
Right.
all right. Oh man, that did not. That didn't. That's ugly. What are we doing, guy? There it is. All right. Let's start at the top. Empire Strikes Back versus Good Will Hunting. Tato.
Empire.
Ant-Man.
Good Will Hunting has the Red Sox in it, so Empire.
Mm,
I don't like that logic. Carrie.
Empire.
mm.
All right. Ant-Man. I mean, Chad Man.
Or Santa. Oh, you bastard.
Goodwill Hunting.
JPO, what would you have gone?
I probably would have had to go towards.
Empire versus Good Will Hunting.
I know. I'm thinking.
Oh my
Baseball-
God, y'all.
Why did they have the
Nice.
same hat?
Let's fight later.
Yeah.
Empire.
All right, Empire goes. All right, the Battle of Tarantino's: Pulp Fiction versus Django Unchained. Carrie,
Pulp Fiction.
Chad,
No, seriously, this is actually really hard. I'm gonna go Django.
1-1. JPO, wake up.
I'm here, man.
I know. I'm just yelling at you.
My turn.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
That movie right there. I vote for that movie.
All right, that is 2-1. Ant-Man.
Fuck you. That's my name.
Tarantino. Django's my favorite Tarantino movie, but Pulp Fiction, man. Gotta go.
That is interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
It doesn't make any sense.
I know that sounds like Henry logic, where it's like, if it's not my number 1, it's my number 20. Tato.
Logic leaps aside, Pulp Fiction is my number 1, so I will vote for it.
All right, see, that makes sense now. And if I had to be the tiebreaker, I'm still going Pulp Fiction. Coco versus The Thing. Let's get fucking weird. Tato.
Ooh.
Still have not seen The Thing.
So we'll see if your vote matters. Ant-Man.
Coco.
JPO.
I'm gonna go The Thing.
What?
That's brutal. Are you guys both going The Thing down there, Whitey's?
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Really?
Yes, because it's the better movie.
Like, you guys don't realize this is my list. You guys are...
Because me and Henry are the only Hispanics here, so that's why.
And JPO's
All
favorite.
right.
All right. Scream versus A Few Good Men. Ant-Man.
Scream.
Wow.
I am so confused. What is going on? Is this a Chris Diaz ASAT? What is going on? Tato.
A Few Good Men,
JPO.
for what it's worth.
Somebody scream.
Webbs.
I'll scream.
I mean, you don't understand. A few good men. It's if it was any other movie other than Scream, I'd probably go A Few Good Men, but Scream.
I know it's even I would do that, but it still bothers me how easy it is with the vote. All right. This is an interesting Final Four. Empire Strikes Back versus The Thing. Carrie.
The Thing.
Fuck.
Chad.
The Thing.
JPO.
The Thing.
Ant-Man.
Oh, man. The Thing doesn't even belong in this Final Four. Empire.
Says you.
I actually watched The Thing in the past 5 minutes. I'm gonna go with Empire.
The Thing moves on to the finals. Pulp Fiction versus Scream. Tato.
Pulp Fiction.
Ant-Man.
Pulp Fiction.
JPO.
Scream.
Oh, you bastard.
Webbs.
Don't.
Carrie.
I'm sorry, guys. Scream.
All horror finals.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
What?
I got mad.
Oh.
That's the universe thing.
All right. So with that
Wait.
said, Scream is our final, because now if I'm not letting The Thing be my favorite over
Okay.
Scream, I'm not
Oh.
even letting it happen. So-
I gotta hold on. I gotta put this back on because I called the shit.
With
Yeah,
that
that's it.
said, Scream has made my number 1 movie of all time, which it's entered my top 10, so I'm not mad at it. I would have liked it to, ironically, let's just throw it out there. Big Lebowski wasn't in this top 32. Stand By Me was not in this top 32. School of Rock was not in this top 32.
Oh.
Rocky was not in this top 32. Inception was not in this top 32.
Oh yeah, I've been waiting to make a joke about how Ned Schneebly's your quarterback now.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean, guys? All right. So with that said, Mike White, I like that joke. All right. With that said, Carrie, what was your overall thoughts on this 32? And what was your thoughts on just the fun little less than 4-hour bracket show?
This was really fun. Thanks for having me on. I think you have a great, even though we only saw like 32 of them in this like show, I thought it was a very strong, great 32.
Yes, I appreciate that. That's coming from a mother. She knows things. Chad.
Yeah, I actually really love doing brackets. It's just so fun. It almost doesn't even matter what the movies are, but I do think there's a lot of great choices in here. I didn't love all of them, but most of them I really, really like. So great choices.
Appreciate that. Watch Hustle and Flow. You won't regret it.
Okay.
JPO, Madam Zeroni.
Did I not call it my child?
You did.
I looked at the panel. I went, Scream's about to win this thing.
Other than Scream, what are your thoughts on the other 31 movies?
No, man. Like I said, good list. Even a couple here that I need to get around to that I haven't for no particular reason other than just life. So, no, good list, man. Happy to be a part of some of these. Thanks for having me.
There you go. Ant-Man. No Back to the Future. No Empire. Technically, no Pulp Fiction. What are your thoughts on today?
I have no thoughts. I'm just like, this is a great list. As someone who is slowly but surely getting more into horror, thanks to my girlfriend, I'm still like a little bit. I'm just baffled that a horror movie is number one. So, especially one that I'm not that much of a fan of, other than the sequel. So,
I love that you love Scream too. It's so good.
yeah, I love Scream too, but Scream one,
That's always going to be interesting. I don't know. And then, do you wish that we did this later, where you watched them all, or did you still have a blast with how it went down?
I had a blast, and it's on me for not watching them. I did have the time for this time, but I recently just got my video game consoles out of the pawn shop, so I've been gaming like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. The last time I got my PS2 out of a pawn shop, I had a lot of fun too.
Facts. So yeah, I had a blast. I will get to those movies down the line, because every movie in this list that I've seen, I either like. A Star Is Born is probably my least favorite on this list, and I really like that movie.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
all right. I want to hear from everyone. Ant-Man, what is your least favorite movie on this list? If you could, just off the top of your head, I can bring them back up.
yeah, please.
Your least favorite on this entire list?
Because I'm still baffled by Scream.
You can't read that.
I mean, well, the thing is, you're saying least favorite out of the ones I've seen, right?
Yeah, obviously. And then press the full screen button if you need to. It'll be bigger.
I'd have to say She's Out of My League. Yeah, I like the movie. Out of all these, yeah.
That's fair. JPO, what is your least favorite of my 32? Of these 32, I should say.
Ant-Man said it.
That's fair. Other than She's Out of My League, Chad, what is your least favorite movie?
Of the ones that I've seen, Superbad.
Oh, man.
That is always going to be interesting. And Carrie, the newest person of my taste, what is your least favorite of my 32? And you can even pick any one that's been said so far. And also, other than Scream, what is your favorite too? Since I'm,
Okay. I think my least favorite is maybe A Star Is Born. Not that it's not a good movie, but just personally not my favorite. And I actually would have voted for The Thing, number one.
Interesting. Okay.
Mine would probably be Silence of the Lambs.
That's your number one?
Oh, actually, yeah.
After
Scream.
To rewatch it.
I like that. All right. So with that said, Chad, what do you got to plug?
Yeah, check out my channel, Chadwick Webb. JPO's been on there. Carrie's been on there. We rank stuff. It's a really good time. We're about to do.
I haven't been on there.
Yeah, soon.
I haven't been invited back.
I want to get on there too. Hey, depends.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll reach out to you. Yeah, so we're doing a big Disney ranking coming up soon. It's going to be all 61 Disney animated films. And it's been like months of preparation just watching all of them. So looking forward to that coming out. I don't know, probably end of the year.
It
December.
depends on when you edit it.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. I don't even know how long it's gonna be. Check out. I'll let Carrie do the other one. Check out the Dill Pickle Movie Network where we do Picture This, and we talk Best Picture movies. And we did 2009 last month because of Avatar 2 coming out this month. And then this month, because of Christmas, we're paying homage to It's a Wonderful Life. We're doing 1946. So, check that out.
There you go. And Carrie, what are you shouting out?
So you can find Chad and I on the Nerd Entertainment Network. We host a show with Hunter Chambliss called Welcome to Primetime, where we discuss different hard topics every week. So I think this week we're going to be doing a very specific ranking of the second half of season 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Our favorite show of all time. So
Our
there you
favorite
go.
show of all time.
I
That
mean,
is Chad voted for that in the draft. And
Oh,
that was
nice.
his pick in the draft. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Hunter's first time watching it, and it's very interesting because Chad and I grew up watching it, and it's interesting to get the perspective of someone who's never seen it and is watching it in the modern day.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, definitely check that out. And I've never seen Buffy either, so I would definitely be curious. As
Me
someone
neither.
who's similar in age as you guys, how I would react to it, seeing it later. You know what I mean? That definitely is interesting.
I'd love to hear your thoughts if you
One of the greatest shows of all time.
Absolutely, especially
Watch
now that
long?
I'm a horror fan, where it's like perfect timing too. So it's like now
All
it's
7 seasons tonight.
Right.
Okay.
that or one Schindler's List. JP, what do you got? What do you got to plug?
Yes, there's stuff I do over at the Pierce Code channel. We do some movie trivia, we do some countdowns, and some other fun things. And then over at Pierce Wrestling, we do some wrestling trivia and some interviews and exclusive matches that you can find there. And thanks for having me.
And obviously, we all know that JPO is a big wrestling fan, but he doesn't know shit about Peanut Butter Falcon. Ant-Man, what do you got to plug?
Oh,
man?
character names. I can name the 2. I've met the 2 wrestlers that were in there. I've worked with them. I consider one of them a friend. I just don't remember character names.
Saltwater redneck, bitch. Ant-Man, what do you got?
I had Mick Foley's phone number, but I don't know his character name.
Do you concede your time, JPO? Can I speak, please?
Hold on, I got you.
And it's a
Gotcha.
really good movie.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
John Hawkes, he's underrated.
One of these days, I am gonna have something to plug, but no.
I'm really coming around on Dakota John. Oh, sorry.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Overall, man, I'm just glad that you let me be part of this final or any of these brackets, man.
When you're not in Virginia, you're invited to everything. Just when
Yeah,
you're
I know. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure this is not gonna be the last time we do brackets. So yeah, I'm always down for more, especially Tarantino. Anything with Tarantino.
This is just the end of this specific
Right.
topic. We'll do other ones. Yeah, plenty.
Exactly. So yeah, man, just always amazing. Glad to be part of it.
There you go. And make sure you check out Tato's mustache. He's trying out for the next Top Gun. With that said, my name is Henry Confidential, and this is Build a Bracket, where we try and bracket out things that are more even matchups. And we actually do not like, oh, which one would I rather watch now? Because I hate that argument. With that said, my name is Henry Confidential. Shout out JPO, Ant-Man, Taters, and both webs. Congratulations on the webs, by the way.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.